Hi, my name is Lawrence Kanyan and you're watching Planet Geology. Now, a massive 6.4 magnitude earthquake hit the northeastern state of Assam at around 7:51 am on Wednesday morning. This earthquake was followed by two smaller aftershocks of around 4.5 magnitude. The epicenter of the earthquake was located north of the Brahmaputra river but south of the Himalayan mountain belt near the town of Dekejuli, and the focus of the earthquake is located around 10 kilometers below the surface. So it's more of a shallow earthquake. Now we will try to understand what caused this earthquake. Now if you look at the northwestern Himalaya and the northeastern Himalaya are quite different from what you find in northwest. So the main difference, the one that you find, is that instead of being bounded by just one tectonic boundary, as you see in the northwestern Himalaya, where the Indian plate is separated from the Eurasian plate by the Himalaya, in the northeastern Himalaya, you see actually two tectonic boundaries. The one towards the north is a normal collisional boundary between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate that forms the Himalayan. But on the east side, you also have a tectonic boundary, which is actually a subduction zone in which one of the tectonic plates goes underneath the other one. So there is a tectonic boundary, which is called a subduction zone between the Indian plate and the Burmese plate. So the northeastern India is actually surrounded by two tectonic plate boundaries. Now the other difference is that the northeastern India is more affected by what we call neotectonics, that is the new tectonics. And that is one of the reasons that you see in the entire Himalayan belt. If you look at the foreland basin, now you would ask what is a foreland basin. So a foreland basin is a low elevation area in front of a mountain belt. So in case of Himalaya, it would be the Ganga basin and the Brahmaputra basin. Now if you look at the foreland basin of the entire Himalayan belt, it's only in the northeast Himalaya that you see a high elevation area within the foreland basin. In the northwestern India, you don't see it anywhere, or even in the central Himalayan region. It's only in the western part that you see a high elevation area within the foreland basin, and which is basically the Shillong plateau, and which covers the most of the state of the Meghalaya. So this is a recent plateau which formed just 1 or 2 million years back, started forming 1 or 2 million years back. A high elevation area also produces other effects. For example, it results in formation of one of the wettest places on earth, one of the rainiest places on earth, Cherrapunji and Mawsynram. And another effect is that it's very seismically active. So seismically active, if you look at this state of Assam or the entire northeastern region, it falls in seismic zone number 5, which is the zone with the highest risk amount. Now, what actually caused this earthquake? So if you look at the tectonics of this area, so around the Shillong plateau, so the Shillong plateau is actually surrounded by what we call in geology faults on all sides. Now what exactly is a fault? It's important to understand it, is because that will help us understand what exactly an earthquake is and how the faults control the earthquakes. The faults are basically fractures in part of crust in which rocks on one side of the fault slide past rocks on the other side. And there are actually three main ways in which they can slide past each other, giving rise to three main kind of faults. These are the normal faults, thrust faults, and strike slip faults. Thrust faults usually form in zones of compression, as we see in case of Himalaya. So the faults on the north and the south side of the Shillong plateau are thrust faults. It is actually one of these faults which slipped during the 1897 earthquake, which was a massive, more than 8 magnitude earthquake and caused widespread damage and fatalities. However, if you look at the earthquake that we are talking about, it did not take place along the Shillong plateau or along the Himalayan belt. It actually took place in between, north of the Brahmaputra river, and we have what on the eastern boundary of the Shillong plateau a different kind of fault, other than the thrust fault, which is called a strike slip fault. It's not a pure strike slip fault, it's actually a combination of a strike slip and thrust fault in a stress regime which we call transpression. So it's a combination of a transform motion and the compressional motion. So this fault is also known as the Kopili fault, and it's actually one of the most seismically active faults in this region. So if you look at the part of rocks which ruptured during this earthquake, it's not one of the main faults that you see along the Himalayan boundaries. Neither it is one of the faults that is present north or south of the Shillong plateau. It's actually a north-south trending fault that is present along the eastern margin of the Shillong plateau that has ruptured in the northern area. Now, what role do faults play in an earthquake? So if you look at an earthquake, so it's basically the same as breaking a piece of wood or a piece of stone. So if I have a wooden stick in my hand and I apply force on its two ends, so as I try to bend it, it will not break initially. It will accommodate that stress which I'm creating by bending it in the elastic forces. But after some time, what will happen is the wood will not be able to take on any more stress and it will suddenly break or rupture. Now the same thing happens in the Earth's crust. So when two plates are pushing past one another, they create what we call stresses. Now the rocks have certain strength, they can accommodate those stresses, they will not break instantaneously, rather they will accommodate these stresses. But they can only take so much. Every rock has its breaking point, and when that breaking point is reached, all that stored energy is released all of a sudden. So it's a form of potential energy which is converted into the wave energy of the earthquakes. And it is one of these faults which has broken during this earthquake.